Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We have a critical opportunity today to stand up for the civil liberties that are enshrined in our Constitution while also safeguarding our national security. Every single day, the FBI conducts an average of 500 warrantless searches of Americans' private communications, resulting in over 278,000 searches in 1 year alone. The FBI has invaded the privacy of members of Congress, a state court judge who reported civil rights violations by a local police chief, Black Lives Matter protesters, and more. We cannot pass this bill without additional protections like my amendment with Representative Biggs and Nadler and Jordan and Lofgren and Davidson to close the backdoor search loophole. And unfortunately, there are some members of the intelligence community, some members of this body that are circulating information that simply isn't correct. And I need to correct the record right here. Some members have implied that the Privacy and Civil Liberties Oversight Board does not support the amendment. To counter that, let me share some quotes from Sharon Bradford Franklin in her personal capacity as chair of the Privacy and Civil Liberties Oversight Board, the independent government agency tasked with ensuring the executive branch conducts national security work in a way that protects our civil liberties and our privacy. Here are her quotes. "It is critical that in reauthorizing Section 702, Congress include a warrant requirement for U.S. person queries." Another quote, "Requiring a warrant for U.S. person queries would neither end U.S. person queries nor undermine the overall value of Section 702. Another quote, "Outside of the category of, quote, victim queries, the FBI has not been able to identify any cases in which a Section 702 U.S. person query provided unique value in advancing a criminal investigation. In addition, the government has been unable to identify a single criminal prosecution that relied on evidence identified through a U.S. person query." Another quote, "The warrant requirement contained in the warrant amendment includes important exceptions that would address the government's concerns about slowing down the process for U.S. person queries. Exceptions are provided for exigent circumstances, consent, cybersecurity, and metadata-only queries." Mr. Speaker, let me be clear that the Privacy and Civil Liberties Oversight Board, in its oversight capacity, has the same access to all the classified intelligence that the agencies cite when they try to scare us into reauthorizing FISA with minimal changes. We have a bipartisan amendment that would fix this problem. We have a responsibility to stand up for civil liberties of our constituents. We cannot pass this bill without requiring intelligence agencies to ensure that Americans' privacy rights are upheld at every turn. I yield back.
Lady yields. Gentleman from New York reserves. Gentleman from Ohio is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Before yielding to my good friend, I just want to underscore what the gentlelady from Washington just described. The Privacy and Civil Liberties Oversight Board, created by the 9/11 Commission Act of 2007, says that our amendment is consistent with what should happen. Our amendment is consistent with the majority recommendation of that board. This was a board specifically created to protect Americans' liberties, looking at how the intelligence community operates by the 9/11 Commission Act of 2007. And they say the majority of that board said this amendment is what needs to happen. With that, I yield to my good friend from New Jersey, member of our committee, 2 minutes.